everyone. I feel like I should probably start this whole series off with a disclaimer, and hopefully this will become a series. Yeah, I feel like I really shouldn't have to put a disclaimer, but you know, I can't figure out how to set this video up so that only people who are not stupid enough to get themselves hurt will watch it. I don't think there's a filter for that. But yeah, I know it really should go without saying, but there are some really stupid people out there. And you might think that, well, if they're smart enough to build a suit of power armor, then they're theoretically not stupid enough to get themselves hurt, but then again, this is the internet, and you know, technical ability and common sense are not the same thing. So, yeah, I know to all of you people with brains out there that it should come as no surprise, but yeah, armor does not make you invulnerable. And, you know, testing armor can be super dangerous. So if anyone's dumb enough to try and take what I say as the gospel truth, even though I'm clearly putting it forwards as a hypothetical, if anyone copies what I say, builds a suit and then gets hurt testing it, yeah, don't do that. Seriously, don't be stupid. Can I just have a disclaimer of don't be stupid? I feel like that should just cover it, but yeah, basically what I want to do, yeah, use some common sense and think about safety and do everything safely if you're going to be building a suit of power armor or ballistic armor. I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of people out there who are working on their own suits of ballistic armor and power armor at home. Yeah, I know you guys are out there. I have some of you on Facebook. Don't lie. I know you're there. And I know you're watching. I've read the comments. Hi Xander. Congratulations on getting a company to agree to supply you with the AR500 steel plates. I'm a little skeptical that they will actually come through, so when they deliver them to you, then I'll believe it. But dude, you haven't even got a mild steel mock-up. I would highly recommend you get, focus on getting that working template. Get that working version, get it walking, worry about that other stuff later, because let's face it, you could get tied down forever with all the bells and whistles and, oh, I could use this type of steel, oh, it's too expensive and safe, all that nonsense. I'm really looking forward to watching Project Prometheus take its first steps. Also, Backwards Brooks, I'm, a guy who was having a great conversation with me about his ballistic armor DIY project, and we discussed materials. I'm not really a materials guy, I'm a plates and articulation and design concepts kind of guy. So yeah, that's probably, I do know at least one guy who's quite knowledgeable of materials. Hi Corin. I might have to go bug him and ask him some questions later. But yeah, I really want to get, okay, so Backwards Brooks, he was the inspiration for me making these videos, well, part of the inspiration for turning these thoughts and stuff into an actual video series, because, well, we were having this great discussion / argument. You know how the internet is. It's like, I have a different opinion! Nah, just chill, dude, cool. Nah, we're cool, I'm just playing, You can tell I've had caffeine, can't you? I love caffeine. Caffeine is amazing. Right, so yeah, we were having this conversation about, some of the design aspects, some of my thoughts on how you would go about developing it. I was discussing some of my thoughts on how I would go about building a suit of ballistic armor, and he was talking about some of his ideas, and back and forth. It was so interesting. I was like, we need to stop this conversation. We need to put it in video form. This conversation is too cool for it to be only shared between the two of us. Let's get a forum going. And you know what? I think I should actually make a Facebook forum on the subject of power armor, ballistic armor, modern armors, crazy experimental armors. Not entirely sure what name to call it. And even if I did come up with a name, I might change it. So, before I post this video, I'm going to start a forum, and I'm going to put it in the description, a link. And I want to welcome all of you guys to come and just, post all of your stuff, all of your suits of power armor, all of your ballistic armors, all of your research, all of your photos, everything. Let's all just pool our resources, and, I reckon that would be awesome. I mean, yeah, there's the United League of Armourers group on Facebook, which is like the coolest armor Facebook group, but it's kind of, it's geared towards historical stuff. Occasionally I'll post some of my hypothetical, experimental harnesses up there, and people will be like, it's not historical, bad heretic! Ah! But some people are cool, and especially when you turn around and go, well, actually that part that you're charging me with heresy for isn't the historically inaccurate part. Here are photos of historical examples doing it. And then they shut up because they realised that they just didn't actually know that, yes, there are historical examples of articulation inside of the armband there. There's even historical examples of plates under the armpit. Just my exact way of doing it, I cannot prove to be 100% historical because I haven't seen the originals on the inside. Okay, I've seen a few of them on the inside, and I've got some photos sent from me from people inside of museums that I'm not technically supposed to have, but right, yes, did I mention I love caffeine? Caffeine is amazing. Whew. Okay, yeah, so I digress. Yeah, I want to start, a conversation, start doing videos on talking about some of the ideas I have for designing a suit of power armor. As many of you who follow my channel will know that I am currently building a fully enclosed suit of armor. Hence why, okay, some of the temporary cardboard straps have worn out, so it gaps like crazy, but yeah. Some of you would recognise this as part of my experimental harness, where I have plates on the inside of the arm, underneath the armpit, and working on this, I'm constantly thinking about, I want to make a suit of power armor, and so it's always in the back of my mind. Also because I'm constantly listening to Warhammer 40k audiobooks while I'm doing it, though I've recently delved into some of the Halo audiobooks. I quite enjoyed the start of The Ghosts of Onyx, where they're going through the research and development process in creating the Spartan 3s. And you know what? Research and development is something that I find absolutely fascinating. I love watching Forgotten Weapons, where he goes through the design process of creating all of these exotic and forgotten weapons, and when you get the tanks and the design and development process, and like how tanks evolve, that's awesome. And armor, plate armor, it's just the evolution of plate armor and how the changes in the battlefield as they learn new things and they develop new techniques, redesign the armor, and blah, 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 all that stuff. Give it to me. I want it. More information. Just feed it straight into me. All over my face. Just want all that information. Okay, yeah, that went a little bit weird. Yeah, I'm a bit of a tech priest at times. Yeah, so, what was it? Yeah, Armour of the English Knight, 1400 to 1450. Oh, I love this book. It's so good. It's basically evolution that specifically English armour went through from 1400 to 1450. And yeah, okay, I really should have been taking better care of this book. I like this book. If you can get a hold of this book and you're into armour, you need to get this book. It is so good. It doesn't just show you the armour and talk about the content. It talks about the design of the armour and how it's put together, and why it's shaped the way it is, and why those plates are articulated the way they are, and why they overlap in that way, and why they go down that far, and it's so good. And that's the kind of thing I love that. So, and while I'm at it, Knight Errant. You gotta check out that channel if you're into armour. I mean, yeah, if you're really into armour, you've probably already seen it, but if you haven't, or if you're coming at this from the sci-fi side of things, check that out, because it shows the evolution of medieval plate armour, how armour for different parts of the body evolved over time, and why and how. Although I am very disappointed that it stops at around the end of the medieval period, because as we know, armour continued to evolve past that point, and there is some incredible advancements made after the medieval period in plate armour. And in fact, a lot of people don't realise they had bulletproof stuff in the 16th century. Was it the 16th century? I know that by the time of Elizabeth, I'm pretty yeah, they really should have been. Pretty sure I've seen bulletproof Elizabethan harnesses. Yeah, yes, definitely by Elizabeth. They were bulletproof breastplates, but nah, I mean, bulletproof plate armour is a massively underappreciated part of armoured history, and oh my god, I love that stuff. It's amazing, and some of it is super technologically advanced in its articulation. Some of it's just really heavy, thick steel, but you know what? It's an important part of armoured history that gets completely left out, because people will focus on medieval armour, and they get to the end of the medieval period and then they stop. And this leads people to think that armour stopped being worn at the end of the medieval period. No. Medieval armour stopped because it's now no longer medieval. I am so far off topic, but it all kind of links together in a roundabout way. Right, so this is really just an introduction to the series that I'm hoping to make, and to encourage people to join the forum that I'm creating on this subject, and you know, maybe we can start some discussions going, and you know, and I want to see if there's actually some interest in this, and if people would actually be interested in hearing my rambling ideas about how I would personally design a suit of power armor or ballistic armor. I got tons of ideas. It's going to take me a while to just put them into a coherent. I really should write a script for this, because I just start talking and I ramble like crazy, but I have tons of ideas, and I think a lot of people who are interested in the subject of armor, ballistic armor, power armor, or sci-fi, or just interested in the design process I think there's a lot of people out there who would be super into this, even if they're not. My main demographic for this is people who are not making this, but are super massive armor nerds who are totally into the idea of power armor and ballistic armor and all that cool stuff. However, yes, I know there are also people who follow me who are actually building these things. And, you know, I want to start a dialogue with these people, and I want to start, you know, putting out some of the crazy ideas that I have. And, you know, I think people would be into it, but I don't know. I mean, if nobody's into this and nobody wants to watch these videos, then I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to chat to the guys who are actually building the things in the real world. However, I'd also love to talk to, though, you know, people who are into, like, video games, people who are, like, designing, you know, authors and artists, you know, maybe we can point, you know, design, you know, to, you know, make a more realistic or believable science fiction power armor. You know, just all that crazy coolness. But yeah, this is just going to be my introduction. My mind is way too scattered at the moment. I'm too excited. I need to sit down and plan out my videos to break down each individual point I want to make. And I'm just all scatterbrained. I'm all way too excited and way too rambly. I don't think I'll be able to make it. I've like basically tried to film like videos getting like 3 or 4 of my points across and design concepts I have, and I've just gone completely off top. I'm just going all over the place, and I need to sit down, calmly focus on one thing at a time. Yes, this is a subject that gets me way too overexcited, but I love armor. I love power armor. The idea of power armor, the idea of building a I love it. But, you know what, each one of my little thoughts is going to need to be in its own separate video, and hopefully try and get them. Alright, but yeah, if you're into this, please let me know. Please share this on social media. Please come join the Facebook group that I'm building. Please join the Facebook group. If you're interested, please share this on social media. If lots of people are super into this, then I can justify the time in making these videos. If nobody is interested in this, or very few people are interested in this, I might just talk to the people on the forum. And if nobody's interested in it, then I'm just going to take that time and I'm going to put it into other projects like building my suit of fully enclosed armor, or my swordsmithing, and all of my other stuff that I'm into. So yeah, this is really kind of like a feeler, an introduction. This is really like an introduction, just putting it out there, seeing what kind of a reaction I get for it. So if you spread this around and I get a huge influx of people onto this video and tons of comments and tons of people wanting to talk about it, then yeah, we can make this a series. It's all up to you guys. Alright everyone, see yous.